All right, welcome back to Midwestern Samoan. Today we're going to go over, there's a lot, so I think I'm going to break it up into parts, but because there's a lot in this digital download in the Midwestern Samoan store, you can find the link in the bio. We're going to go over, I think it's under lesson 4, and it's it's labeled ofea, which means like where, right? So, but before even starting off with that, going to like where, we're gonna go over a couple of things, and one of them is this, and you can follow along. It's easier to follow along with the digital download, but we're gonna start with this guy, and that's just o, right? O, simple, right? O is like it's not an actual word. It's a particle. It's something that we use to it just indicates that, hey, this is the focus, and it's almost like we well, for example, like say the word for chair is nofoa, right? That's the word. And if we want to say like the chair, literally this is the meaning. I mean, this is the nofoa, right? Like that's the chair. But if we say it by itself, we have to put the o before it. So it has to be o instead of le nofoa. You can't just say le nofoa. You have to say o le nofoa. That's just, if you don't have the o before it, it just doesn't work, and that looks terrible. Hold on. O le nofoa. Right? O le nofoa. So that's, if you want to say the chair, you have to put the particle o before it. So anytime there's just a noun or a noun phrase, you need the particle o before it, right? So now we went over that le, right? O le nofoa. That's what we call the definite article. Like in English, the chair, right? But an indefinite article, like a chair, you put o senofoa. A chair, a chair of many, right? So o le nofoa is the chair. O senofoa means a chair. Okay, so there's a long vocabulary list in this PowerPoint, in this digital download. We go over and it even has pictures, things like that. So you can check that out. Now, if you want to say like, hey, what's this? Like, what is this thing? The word for what is actually 3 words. It's olea, right? So what? Olea. And this is lene. Olea lene mea. Olea lene mea. That is, what is this thing? And again, there's a big slide that goes over that. That's, what is this thing? And then you have, what is that thing? And then we even go over the plural to ask, like what? And then the plural of that, right? And I'll show you right now. I can't write very fast. So, olealine mea, meaning what is this thing, right? What is this? And olealine mea is what is that, or what is that thing? And then the plural of what is this thing, or what are these, right? Meaning like, what are these things, right? Oa ne mea. So you take the le out, and you take the le out. You take the le out of what, and you take the le out of lene. And that just makes it plural. Oane mea, meaning what are these things? And then you do the same thing for what is that thing, meaning like what are those things, right? Oana mea. And this is probably the most common one that you'll hear, right? Oana, and in the ka form, right? Like as we went over before, the ta form is oana mea, and the ka form you change the ends to the nga, right? Oana mea, right? So you hear that probably the most out of all of these questions. Oana mea, right? So that's how you differentiate between this and that, and then the plural of these and those, right? So there's a slide that has a bunch of different pictures, right? And a good exercise that one exercise that I'll do with the class is I'll say I'll point to that picture, and then I'll ask like "Ola anemia," right? So say I point to a pencil, right? So here's gonna be my drawing. Here's my artwork here. Okay. Hopefully this will. Yeah, that looks like a pencil. Hopefully. Right? So, boom. Right? I'll point to it and I'll say, Ole alemea. And then someone will answer, right? Now, how we normally answer if someone asks, like, hey, what is this thing? Right? How do we normally answer it? In a definite or an indefinite? Do we say, oh, that's the pencil? Do we say that? Or we usually say, oh, that's a pencil? So I would have them answer back in the indefinite, right? And if you remember, the indefinite is o se penitala, right? O se penitala. So I'd point to the pencil. I say, oh, ole alenamia. And then I would say, oh, o se penitala, right? It's a pencil, right? So there's that. So that's the indefinite, definite, and that's and that's how you answer, right? Now, if I ask, like, say I have say I point to a door, right? Here's my door. There. So I point to a door, right? I say, oh, and I say, oh, I mean, say there's many doors, right? So I would ask and then I would ask, what are those? I say, oh, anamia. And so they know that I'm asking plural, right? So they know they need to answer plural, right? So to make things plural, you don't put an article at all, right? Right? Ofaitoa, meaning doors. So, and now sometimes I would say, like, I would put for indefinite, I would say, o ni faitoa. Right? Only faitoa, meaning like there's some doors, right? So the ni is the plural for the indefinite. Only faitoa, some doors. So that's the simple way to make things plural, and then some of the articles, right? So again, there's a lot of pictures, and I labeled the pictures so you can see all those, right? So you know what? I was gonna put it into parts, but we're gonna keep going. So that's how you use the articles, le, se, ni, and then to make it plural for le, if it's definite, like you just don't put an article at all, right? Like even, let's do another one. Let's do windows, right? So there's a bunch of windows, right? And you say, oh, anamia. And then all you just say is, oh, fa'amalama. Fa'amalama. Windows. That's it, right? So that's how you make plural, and those are the singular articles. So there. Now, so going to ofea, right? To ask where, that's the simplest way to ask where. Ofea, right? Where? So I'll also have pictures of these things, and they'll be like in a row, and they'll be next to each other, they'll be above each other, things like that. So I'll show you. So again, you can get the digital downloads and you can follow along there, right? But so the picture will look something like this, right? So you have the pencil above the window or next to the notebook. You have the table next to the paper. You have the class next to a pen, right? Or even like you see how there's numbers above them. So that's important to pay attention to, because if I'm asking where something is, this goes over like the relative locations, right? Meaning like they're next to something, they're above something, they're below something, things like that. So it goes over the simple common way to answer like where something is. It's the simplest way, right? Because this phrase works. This phrase works with locating everything, people, objects, things like that. And the phrase is this. Let's see. Hola, and then blank location relative to something else, right? So, hola, la, it just replaces whatever it is that you're locating, right? And then the is like placing it. It is, it is basically. So hola, presently, right? That's the present tense. And then you would use different locations relative to whatever it is, whatever it is. So if I want to say hola, hola, ilunga, right? Ilunga o le, hola, ilunga o le, whatever. Hola, ilunga o le, it is above of the, the lau, right? Hola, ilunga o le lau, right? So, for example, I'll show you guys. So, I'll point to something in class and I'll say, oh, this is terrible. Right, and then, hopefully you guys can tell what this is. Okay, so this is that's supposed to be a bird, right? And that's a tree, right? So it's a bird and a tree, right? So if I say like, where's the bird, right? Ofele manulele. And then, then you would answer, oh, it is above the tree, right? So we go back to our phrase, right? Ola e ilunga o le la'au. So it is, and ilunga o. You need the e before the location, right? It's like lungo. You need the e before the location and the o to put it relative to it. So it is like e is like at, right? It is at up. It is at above of. It is at above of the tree. Ola e ilunga o le la'au. It is above the tree. So that's the easiest way to put a location, right? So even like I don't know, you could even say o la e lalo. So if you know what lalo means like down, right? So if you say ilalo o la e ilalo o, and then what is that? That's a cloud. O la e ilalo o leao, right? Or it is under the cloud. Oh, I erased something. O la e ilalo o leao, right? So, and so the nice thing is in this digital download, it gives a bunch of different relative location terms that you can use, and like ifafo, or that's outside, right? Itotonu, right? That's inside, or itotonu, inside of, right? Itua, or behind, right? So like if you just wanted to say like or even like ofele la, where's the sun, right? Ola itua, right? Ola e itua o leao, it's behind the cloud, right? Does that make sense? So it goes over a bunch of the relative locations that you can use in this simple phrase, right? That phrase that we just went over. And I mean, even you could even you can even use it for like a person, right? There's I put a picture of a lawyer, right, in here. So you can say like the lawyer is like it's really random. So say so oh boy, here's my best artwork. We'll just put a tie on them, right? Oy. And put some glasses. Oy, this is terrible. And a suitcase. You know, because lawyers have suitcases. And then it's the lawyer's next to this. All right, there's your, this is terrible. Lawyer and bone, right? So it's next to the bone, right? So if someone says, oh, ofele lawyer, right? That's the word for lawyer, right? Lawyer. So lawyer. And it's funny in class, like we made a soy a lawyer, like just to help pronounce it right, like soia means to stop, right? Soia, loia. And then ponaivi. So loia, ponaivi, right? Or pongaivi, or fele loia, right? Simple. Again, these simple, right? Ofele loia. Where's the lawyer? And then again, he or she, right, is. So you can just put ola. Ola e I. You can say tafa, right? Lai tafa o le ponaivi. Right? Or talane, right? O lai I talane o le ponaivi, o lai tafo le ponaivi, like next to, right? Simple ways to give the locations of things or people. So there. So again, you can check out the digital download, which gives you more and gives you more of the vocabulary. And yeah, so yeah, if you check that out, you can get that. And then if you like this video, hit the like, comments. If you want more videos like this to go over these digital downloads, if you find them helpful, let us know. All right, so thank you very much, and we'll see you for the next one.